Here's the deal with sanctuary cities. There is no official definition of sanctuary cities. So that's part of the issue is there's not a lot of common ground on what we're talking about, so it's not a yes or no. President Trump issued an executive order some weeks, probably a month back now, that indicated that, and the specific wording was that if you were in, quote, willful violation of federal law, that was where how the executive order defined sanctuary city. Rochester is not in willful or otherwise violation of federal law, but I think that that's where the debate comes in, because the federal law, of course, is not a model of clarity when it comes to immigration. So very briefly, immigration is a civil offense on the great majority of circumstances. There are some that it's an actual criminal offense that, for instance, a convicted felon that's been deported and returns actually becomes a criminal offense. But crossing the border without documentation is not a criminal offense. It's a civil infraction, and police departments, law enforcement, does not have any authority to enforce civil infraction.
Mm-hmm.
The federal government, Congress, has given that authority specifically to ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, and we don't have authority to enforce those civil infractions. We don't become involved in their enforcement
or anything like that.
Right, and it's not. I know there's a lot of different ideology out there and a lot of different views on the issue, but we're talking about the legal standard, not the philosophy, the ideology behind it. So we do not engage in enforcement action, and from the standpoint of detainers that ICE issues, those are civil in nature. That is, there's no criminal warrant that's been issued. It is a detainer issued by the agency, never had any judicial review, never gives us any authority to enforce those or to comply with those. The times that we do is when there is a criminal warrant issued either by ICE or if we arrest somebody, and we don't inquire about immigration status, but if we arrest somebody for a crime and that results in them being booked into jail, the jail will identify that person through fingerprints. Those fingerprints go to the FBI and subsequently do go to ICE. If ICE has a detainer or other order to hold that person, between the sheriff's office and ICE, they'll be notified that that person is in custody, and ICE can choose to take him in custody or not, depending on what their protocol or priorities are. But it's not one that the police department becomes involved in.